And so it's like, okay, that's a red flag.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is probably about 2 years ago, year and a half.
Yeah.
2 years ago at this point. But I cleaned that up. You know, started spending less and being more, particular in like how I was spending my money. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have fun. I still like to go do things, but I'm a little bit more cautious. I asked that question.
Okay.
Like, is this something that I want to spend money on?
Yeah.
Welcome back, Eric.
Thanks. It's been a little bit.
It's been a minute.
It's like I've been on break. Yeah.
You have been.
Thanks for giving me a little bit of a breather, I guess. You see, you don't even need me anymore.
Oh, we always need you, though.
Oh,
It's Bunsberger's Big Ideas. It's a podcast for us and by us.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all us. It was cool having Nick on, though, because it's just a different perspective and a different different flow. Not going to tell him, but it took me a whole lot longer to edit his episodes than it does to edit ours.
No, I wouldn't believe that.
We've done this a couple times. We know what we're doing.
All right, so Nick's just a good sub, though.
Yeah, he's a good guest host. We should have more guest hosts, too.
All right.
And we're also going to have some more.
See, that was Riley's nice way to say, Eric, you can. Yeah, I got you.
No, Eric, you can stay busy. It's okay.
Right.
No, but honestly, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back in the studio. It's been a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, work sometimes gets in the way of normal routines. Yeah, well, it's funny because like it just happens, right? Like that growth and what we're doing, and you have to prioritize, and not that our audience and the team isn't a priority, but it was nice to be able to delegate a little bit of that and trust the team to continue doing what we do, even though I didn't have to be here. Like
you empowered the heck out of me, Eric.
Yep, empowerment and development.
Yes,
that's what we live on.
It is what we live on.
Yeah, but honestly, thank you for hosting, and I'm excited to hear the episodes and the ones that have been like nicely done.
Thanks.
So yeah.
Today we were kind of talking about again you're joining back to the podcast here, and you were asking about topics and things like that, and I'm in the middle of a journey, I suppose. I'm looking to move out of my mom's house.
Yay! Or boo, I don't know. Is she kicking you out, or you want to?
No. She would probably let me stay there forever. We're all about personal growth and development, right? And throughout my career here, I've been learning just so much, especially in the last 3 years or so, like in this new role.
Yeah.
And it's part of that is in the back of my head just saying like, hey, Riley, it's time for the next step for you. Like, move out.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I'm on that beginning journey. I was going to buy a house, and then I was like, I want to move out now. Let me go rent.
Sure.
Looking at rent, I was like, ooh, that's quite pricey.
Yeah.
For a 2-bedroom apartment is nuts in this market.
Yeah.
And so further conversations with a couple friends, mom was like, why don't you save that money, pay yourself that rent, and buy a house in 6 months, 8 months.
So let's backtrack for a minute.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you've been living with mom, right? Which I know more and more people are. I don't know how much different it is. Like, I'm not in the job search category anymore, but I remember being 18 and being like, yeah, I'm moving out. And I moved out like, the minute after I turned 18. But prices and stuff weren't as bad. Like I don't remember it being financially as big of a deal as maybe it is nowadays. Yeah. So and then I also know that like my wife and to your mom's point, like she's like, yeah, we'll let the kids live here as long as they want, and I'm like, I don't know, but it makes sense now, right?
Yeah.
So I guess ultimately walk me through like what led you to this point now where it's like, okay, now's the time to get a little bit more serious about what that looks like.
Well, I just got older.
Okay.
Honestly, just getting older and realizing, well, for one, that I want it for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. And the fact that I didn't take advantage of living at home as much as I should have with saving money and learning. Like, have fun, right? In your 20s, like, go do the trips, go hang out with friends, go do the experiences, because those are awesome. Like, those are once in a lifetime things, right? But my motto now is everything in balance. Like, have fun, but also save for your future. Have fun, but also maybe don't buy the appetizer. You know? Like, well,
it's funny you mentioned that because I'm going to tell you, I moved out, but I didn't have the extra money at that point. So you talked about like in your 20s, right? And my story may be a little bit different, but same for some, right? Like I had a kid at a very young age, right? Yep. I was 22 when Anna was born. But I think for some of our audience, they're in the same boat where all of a sudden you're forced to kind of have and build this.
Families can start.
Yeah.
Blink of an eye.
So I guess depending on your situation, things are going to look a little bit different. But you said have fun, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But from a balance standpoint, when did you start understanding that the balance is maybe a little bit more important than just one end of the spectrum or the other?
That's a great question. I would say probably when I had a lot of credit card debt.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, a lot for, I guess, a single person.
Yeah, sure.
Know? And so it's like, okay, that's a red flag.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is probably about 2 years ago, year and a half.
Yeah.
2 years ago at this point. But I cleaned that up. You know, started spending less and being more, particular in like how I was spending my money. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have fun. I still like to go do things, but I'm a little bit more cautious. I asked that question.
Okay.
Like, is this something that I want to spend money on?
Yeah.
And so I cleaned that up, and now I'm in that point where, to your point earlier, it was like, why is it now that you want to move out? It's just that next step, I think.
Okay. So to get yourself, because here's what I think people don't realize, right? Or what we maybe don't do enough of is we don't talk about finances a lot in the US, right? Like people in general don't talk a lot about like what they're making, what they're saving, what they're doing.
Right.
Like those are really weird conversations to have with people. I wish they were more organic. I wish they did happen more.
I think they are getting maybe a little bit more organic, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've talked with a lot of like mentors and just friends in general. My friend just bought her house last month, and so I've been talking with her about her process and learning from her. And so it's definitely, I would say, a little bit more not taboo, but
cool. No, that's great to hear because it shouldn't be. I think we need to be better financially, right? And you can't get better financially if you don't have the conversations.
Right.
So ultimately, if I remember your journey a little bit more, you really focus on getting out of debt first.
Yep.
And now you're looking to kind of figure out how to save and make sure that you are setting aside enough money before you officially move out.
Correct.
That sounds smart.
Again, balance. Because I was about to go spend almost $2,000 a month on a 2-bedroom apartment, and it wasn't going to be mine.
Yeah.
But I can go do that tomorrow. And so the other thing is I'm kind of impulsive sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like more important. It's like, I know.
Yeah.
And so that was a check, and I was about to do it. I literally sent in the application fee, was just waiting for them to come back to me, and then it was just like it kind of just all set. Like once I was like, that's way too much money. So I can't just throw that away and not have any equity. Like renting is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But again, it's balance. I was trying to find something that was updated and newer, and that's just of course. Again, the bouginess, I suppose.
Well, we all have that image in our head, right? Of what we want it to look like. And I think that's where we overextend ourselves a little bit. Or at least I have in the past.
Yeah, because there were some apartments for, much less. But they were old or older style, didn't have the, the new flooring that you would want. And so when you start looking at, I want these specific things, and notice it's a want, not a need.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at right now, is figuring out what my wants and needs are. I know I want to move out. I know I want to buy a house or find something to live in, move out essentially. But finding out what those little particulars are is where I'm at.
And I think that's a great place to start. Like you have to start with budget, right? Like I love what you said about like, hey, I'm going to basically just set aside my rent or my mortgage for the next 3 to 6 months. That way I know I can afford it because there's a lot of hidden fees. And whether you're a renter or looking to buy, I think you have to look at a couple different things, right? Yeah. Like renting, it might be more expensive, but all the other incremental costs are tied in right now, right? Like, so like the fact that like my basement flooded the other day, right? Like I have to pay for that. Yep. The renter or person who's renting it to me
doesn't. Or they
would have incurred that cost, right? But it's all on me. So I also liked what you said because I was in that same mindset of like, why would I waste money on renting if I'm not going to get any equity out of it? But I think there's more to renting than what I maybe thought in the past.
I would agree. Because it's exactly what you just said. You're not responsible for the whole the property. If there's a storm or a natural disaster or a fire, like all that stuff, plumbing, toilet, you can
call somebody.
You call somebody and they fix it. Hopefully, if they're good landlords. But it's just and I would call that almost opportunity cost too, right?
Yeah.
So you've got. That's the trade-off, in my opinion, is you've got that versus, and you don't pay property taxes either, I don't think, on apartments. So that's saving you potentially a couple grand a year.
And if you're in Illinois, those property taxes, man. Well, it's fun. It's just, I think if you're going to do it, right, like having a conversation with somebody who financially can help you, or I mean, Googling it, right? Like, but there's a lot of different hidden costs.
And it's just, and there's so many steps.
Yeah.
Renting is quite easy. I didn't think that was that process entirely was too hard.
Okay.
There's sometimes a deposit, like a security deposit, an application fee. One thing that I found though that wasn't the case probably when you were renting or my mom was renting, gas, water, sewer, electricity is all tenants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know before, like you would be able to be like the tenant would be
everything's
just
included,
gas or whatever, right? It'd be like one thing, and the landlord would pay the other. Now it's like literally every place I looked, it was like you were responsible for all the utilities.
Really?
And your rent is this high.
That is different.
So I'm like, that's more money.
Yep.
It's more budget that you have to allot for that.
Plus renter's insurance, and I know we kind of joked around like everyone's got a cat or a dog, but like only so many places will take pets too.
Oh yeah. And my brother's in the same boat. He's looking in California of all places, which is even crazier. And they've got a cat, and they're just like some places will be like you have to send a picture of the cat. You have to pay this deposit and pay whatever it is, and it's just where if you buy a house, it's your house. So trade-offs.
So as you're looking, and I know a lot of people are in the same boat, as you're looking at renting or potentially other areas, and I know we talked a little bit about finances and stuff like that, but like how do you start preparing yourself to really make that move? And I think the question is going to be circling around really the expenditures of that. And even when you're going into, I mean, you need bath towels, you need a couch, you need all this. And I personally, Riley, I think I did it wrong because I would go out there and like say my kid's crib, right? And I get it, everyone might have a different story. Even my bed, like I'd go and get the new bed and I'd put it on credit, right? There's a line of credit, like 0% interest for the next 6 months. And like all of a sudden, like I don't know, like I wish I would have gone back and just bought used stuff from Goodwill or wherever, right? Like a used mattress off Facebook or, I don't know. I don't know what boat you're in, but I think I overspent because I wanted it.
Well, and it was so easy to.
Yeah.
And that's, I think right now is still that buying a house or just shopping in general, it's easy to spend. It's easy to overspend. It's easier than ever. You tap your phone, you tap your watch, you tap your card, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right? And now there's all these, what's that, Affirm or whatever, the pay over time stuff.
Yeah.
Like literally you can go to Kohl's and just be like, hey, my cart, I want to pay that $150 over 3 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's 0%.
Yeah.
So you're like, sure, I've done it.
Yeah. I think just financially, we have to be very, very cautious. And I don't know, maybe it's okay to live with your parents for a little longer than what you may, even if you don't want to, right? Even if you don't think it's the right thing.
And that's the key right there. Yeah. It's like, when is it okay, I can do this, I can move out when I'm comfortable, when I have that financial spot, or is it just the market's crazy and I'm just better off saving more money and investing more money, rather than get into something that is either old or just outrageously priced.
And consider roommates, right? Like I know I had a roommate. I had rented a place that was 2 bedrooms, right? And all of a sudden here I am going to school and it's like, shoot, hey, this, my buddy needs a place. And, so we were able to split the costs a little bit more, which was super helpful at the time.
Oh, I'm sure. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but, at this point in my journey, it's more like I want my own space.
Yeah.
I've been at home for 27 years.
Now it's your time.
Now is my time to go do my own thing. So
okay.
Yeah, I think so if you're looking to rent or buy, there's tons of resources. I've been inundated with a lot of information, so it can be overstimulating or overwhelming. But to your point earlier, find somebody to talk to about it. For me, it was my friend who just bought a house, so I'm bouncing stuff off her. Like, is this right? Like, did you do this? And it just helps. So, and there's grants, there's assistance in Illinois. I know there's a couple different programs that people can use. So,
well, yeah, especially like low income housing type stuff. There's, like you said, you mentioned the grants that I didn't even know about. Yeah. So there might be financial resources out there that
Google.
Yeah, for sure. Just take a look before we just dive in. I think go slow to go fast. You talked about being impulsive, and I think we all are to a point, right? Like we see the shiny thing and we're like, we don't want to miss out. Like you get that fear of missing out.
Yep.
Is that FOMO now?
Yeah, FOMO.
I don't know if is that used anymore?
Yeah.
FOMO? Yeah? All right. But I just go slow to go fast, right? Like take a look at the housing market. Go start 6-12 months out ahead of time, right? Like I know when we were first looking, my wife and I, we started going to open houses a lot just to get an idea of what the market was like.
Well, you just see the market and also find out again what you want.
Yeah.
And what you can live with.
Yep.
Because I wanted first floor laundry. That's probably not going to be a thing for the market that I'm buying in.
Perfect. Yeah.
So adjusting those lists as you look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's great to get out there and start planning for it, budgeting for it, start looking for what you really need, and sometimes those wants just have to go to the wayside, at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
and especially as a starter home, as a first like legit moving out for the first time, there's going to be some things that you want to be better, but you just grow and you learn.
So what's the one or two things that you want the audience to walk away with? Like, what do you wish you knew going into this journey? And I know you haven't signed anything yet. You haven't moved into anywhere yet. But what's the one or two things where it's like, I wish I would have done this?
Saving.
Yeah,
saving and just being more balanced. Like I said earlier, just you have fun. Be stupid young, maybe don't be stupid, but you know what I'm saying. Just live your life, but also plan for the future, because the older you get, the harder it is to plan for your future.
Yeah.
And you can start super small.
Yeah.
$50, like just something. What helped me was doing direct deposit, because I had most of my check going into one account, and then it would funnel other places.
Yeah.
But
See money, spend money.
Yeah. But I'd spend it because it was right there. And so now I have it go, there's a chunk that goes right over here and I don't see it. It just hides, and that's worked pretty well for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
My Christmases with my mom, right? She would start buying me the stuff to move out, right? So the kitchen appliances and the coffee maker and the bath towels. So maybe if you got a birthday or if you're into Christmas, right? Start asking for that type of stuff too.
Oh, I will be.
Forks, cutlery. Forks and knives.
Yeah.
So,
Sam's Club too has really good deals on like cookware and stuff. I was looking at their stuff. It's not too bad.
Goodwill forks.
Too. Yep.
I'm down. Sign me up. So thank you for sharing, Riley. I do appreciate it. I know that it's a little bit more of a personal side of things,
sure.
But a lot of us are going through this, and I think it's great. So.
Yeah, and we're here, we're listening. If you want to talk about your journey, whether it's leadership or buying a house, hit us up. We'll listen. So,
sure. All right.
Listen, learn, lead. We'll see you next time. See you later.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.